All right, let's talk about our radical functions. So our radical functions are in the form, at least our square root functions, y equals a times the square root of x minus h plus k. And we could use any radical. Eventually we'll do some cube roots, but for right now we're going to stick with square roots. And this is the same exact idea as when we did our parabolas, y equals a, x minus h squared plus k. So think about, how did a, h, and k transform our parabola, and it's going to do the exact same thing here. So what did a do? A gave us a wide or narrow graph. This time it's going to be like a tall graph. You know, is it stretched vertically or is it stretched horizontally? H, if you remember, that was our horizontal or left and right change. K was up and down. A also flipped our graph. So A could also flip that parabola. Now simplifying, remember, we're going to do what we see in the parentheses first, so in the square root first, and then do your multiplication, division, and then do your addition, subtraction. We're following our PEMDAS. So let's do number 2. You're going to simplify that square root, and you're just going to bring the 2 and then negative 17. So 2 times 8 minus 17. So it'd be 16 minus 17 for negative 1. Same idea for 2a. Again, simplify what you see in the square root first, then take your square root, then do your other operations in order. Now finding the vertex, it's exactly the same as what we did before when we had our parabolas. And remember what we did to that number inside the parentheses. So think about that. It's the same exact process. So we're going to look at our two numbers, and whatever you see in the parentheses, you do the opposite. So this would be 2, 1, or this would be positive 8, positive 4, or this would be negative 5, positive 5. And as for filling out the tables, you're going to plug in numbers or substitute in numbers for x and then solve or simplify to get y. So this first one here, if x is 1, then it's the square root of 1 minus 1, which is 0, plus 1. So it would be 1. Over here I've got x is 2, so the square root of 2 minus 1, the square root of 1 is 1, plus 1 is 2. And then here I've got 5 minus 1, square rooted, plus 1. And on that last one specifically, that would be the square root of 4 plus 1. So do your square root first. That would be 2 plus 1 is 3. Same idea for the rest of these. Plug in those values for x. Here I'd have 4 minus 4. So plug in your values for x, then simplify what's in the square root. So this would be 0. Take the square root of whatever that number is inside the radical, and then add, subtract, multiply, or divide as necessary. So 0 plus 0 would get me 0, for example. Square root of 5 minus 1, square root of 1 is 1, plus 0 is 1. And here I've got 8 minus 4 plus 0. That would just be the square root of 4 plus 0. And be careful, a lot of people want to put 4 here. You got to take your square root. So let me know what questions you have, and I will see you guys tomorrow.